All right, we're live. Boom, pal, let's do this. How's everyone doing today? Hello, weirdos and malafolks. I am Doug, also known as Guslado. I am here to, question. Oh, goodness, something happened. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I guess it was a little mod thing there. It's okay, Crimson Tan. We still love you. We got a new fancy bot going on here. It's a little bit aggressive. Um, no caps at all. All right, that's weird. Anyways, hello. How is everyone doing on this lovely miniature Monday? So yeah, looks like we have a fancy new, apparently overly aggressive bot that we just, I think Waldo has maybe been tinkering around with or tinkering into. And we shall, get those settings tweaked. Don't worry, Crimson Tan. Oh, Nightbot. Blah blah blah. Yes, that's definitely weird. That's definitely Waldo. So Nightbot is the incarnation of Waldo. Apparently, he's Waldo in computer form. Waldo has infected the internets, perhaps. Anyway, hope you all had a love. Oh, you got a. Okay, that's a little command there. Okay, so yeah. Now that I'm done being distracted by our fun new overly aggressive bot there, how you doing? Thank you for tuning in. We're going to keep on working on the Embrace the Ember box, working on specifically, new words good. Kaeris here, because yeah, I'm excited. Let's get going. Woo! So, what do we got to do on her there? So, I think one of the things I really want to do is I am going to, before I mess things up too far, I'm going to go in. I want to, make her eyes, did a little bit of detail on there. Here we go. So, Crimson Tan, how are you doing today? Nice to see you in the middle of the day. Normally, I don't see you until like evening streams. Oh, goodness. Oh, I'm back. Man, we are just full of Waldo today. Am I back? What's going on? Rutro, hello. How you doing? I'm still here. I didn't go anywhere. I, for one, blame Waldo. If anything goes wrong, we just blame Waldo. Well, I'm glad I can be your background noise today. Yes, check out my things. I got stuff. Look at that. That's fancy. There we go. Just giving her eyes a little bit of brightness there. The things, all the things. Oh, the children's. I understand. There we go. It's giving a little brightness on her eyes there. And then we're going to be, I think the plan today is start adding in the glow effect from the fire onto the other parts of her there. So let's do that. So I'm going to, I prepped up because I know I'm going to be using all these paints. Prepped them up ahead of time, give them a nice little thinning. Start getting my glow going there. To eat out. First miniature I ever painted was definitely a GW model. Because I started painting probably 20 blah 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 models ever. 20 blah 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 years ago. Maybe more, 25 years ago. I started painting when I was in junior high. I think the first model I ever painted was probably an old GW Chaos Warrior. Oh, I still got it. Yeah, I know where it's somewhere in that closet back there. Yeah, definitely one of the first things I ever painted was an old GW Chaos Warrior. Back in junior high, probably. But the first models I really started to do trying to paint a little bit nicer was I had my Necromunda models back in the day. And I think that really sealed my love. That game sealed my love of a more skirmish style game. And the variable nature of that, I think, is one of those things that kind of reasons why I really loved Malifaux the first time I did it. I actually still have all the original cardstock buildings from way back in the day. But I really enjoyed that I didn't have to have a whole ton of models to play that and enjoy it with my brothers. Which I think is one of the big selling points for Malifaux is the low model count. That yes, I ultimately have like multiple full factions now, but getting started in Malifaux, because I've played and painted, close to a dozen different minis games. But one of the things I love about Malifaux, and when I'm telling people about it at when I'm at the game shop and I'm, filling people in on what I've got going on the table, the low model count is definitely one of those selling points for when I'm talking about Malifaux. And so, yeah, I dig that. Yeah, it really did. It was one of those games that, so one day, this was way back in the early 90s, when there weren't really, game stores for miniatures. I went to my comic book store, and that was where I'd go to get, my magic cards. And they had this display there in the, this great setup display that in my mind, still no other diorama has ever matched. I look back now at the quality of painting that passed for super high level painting back in the day now and think, oh, yeah, it was. I probably whip out stuff that's far better, in far less time. But, oh, man, it was this amazing diorama with all of the buildings and these gangs there, and it was this destroyed area. And I'm like, oh, my gosh, what is this thing? And Andy, the owner of Collector's Corner, was like, this is Necromunda. And I was hooked on it ever since. And that was probably like right when that came out, probably like sometime between 1992 and 1994. And so that sealed my fate forever as a lover of miniatures games. And so then I, went off to college, as many of us do, and kind of fell out of, playing minis games as much. But definitely transported all of my old models from location to location for years and years and years. And then ended up, after I got married, we moved, and I got a job running a GW store, one of their retail businesses. But after I left there, one of my buddies, who I knew through the game shop, had a whole big bunch of, he'd purchased a bunch of Malifaux minis because he thought they looked cool, loved the idea of it. And I'm like, oh, dude, these models look cool. What game is this for? He's like, oh, this is for a game called Malifaux. I'm like, awesome. How do you play? He's like, I have no clue, but it uses playing cards instead of dice. I'm like, oh, that sounds awesome because dice are evil. And then, so I'm like, oh, cool. I'll have to learn about it. Well, then I was going to Gen Con for the first time ever. So this would have been Gen Con 2013, I think. Yeah, Gen Con 2013. And it was the year that second edition came out. And so I'm like, okay, I've got, while I'm here, I've got to demo this game. I want to learn how to play this game. And so I did. And did the quick little demo at the booth. I'm like, oh my gosh, how do I actually play a full game? So I booked a full game, how to learn to play in the event space, and played as a Rasputina and became obsessed. Unfortunately, when I went back to the vendor hall, the rule book was sold out. No. Cards are, cards you can control that. It's easy to mitigate the evil from the cards. Because if your cards betray you, there's only so much they can betray you. But so I went and I, wanted to go, and it's like, awesome, I need to get these rules and get the rule book and take it home now. Well, it was sold out. And so I'm like, oh no, I am sad. So I didn't actually buy any models then, because the rule, I'm like, well, I don't want models that I can't play with yet. But then ended up finally getting them a couple months later. and have been playing and painting obsessively pretty much ever since. So that's how I got involved with Malifaux. Oh yeah, since they stream across multiple platforms, the Play Weird stream here, you can't do a sub button. It has to be a just a follow because of the way Twitch works, I guess. Should really figure that out. I recently got affiliate. Whee! So right now I'm kind of going in and I'm doing the glazing of the areas that some of the darker parts of the flame are going to be. The darker parts of the cast light on it. On the stuff here. Yeah, I'm in a good mood today. Just had a lovely weekend. Just got back from a vacation. First vacations I've taken a long while. Because stupid COVID. Also, apparently, I don't count Gen Con as a vacation. Because, go and, do volunteer work at that stuff there. Also, though, it's only vacation if my wife comes too. So. Oh yeah. So if it's some of the messages that if they are making the comment in YouTube or on Facebook, they are only going to pop up on the thing on the left side of the screen there, as opposed to just the Twitch chat box. Since we are multi-streaming here to Facebook and YouTube. because of the way multi-streaming works, I guess. Oh goodness. I hope that didn't ruin it. That sounds like that would be very, very sad. I hope that didn't mess it up, curses. That's good. You've also got a little bit of time to fix things. It's always the worst that when like if you happen to be doing something like that's got a timed component to it, when you're trying to finish up that paint job so you can then photograph it and submit it, and the you do something that messes it up right before, when you're planning on settling in to photograph it. Because man, oh man, is that the worst. Oh, oh, that, oh goodness. Oof, 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 oof. Yeah, you know what? Even the best painters mess up sometimes. That's one of the things I love to like. If you ever shoot, if you ever say watch Angel Heraldes paint live, oh yeah, dude definitely messes up and then goes, and now I'm gonna fix this. Which, if you ever got a chance to watch Angel paint live, oh, definitely, worth tuning in for. Because dude is not only is a great painter, also really, really nice. I was lucky enough to sit in on a seminar with him a couple years back. Super nice dude. Oh, I shall. Yeah, and if you're you and the other Doug around later, I think I'm going to be doing a little more painting on some terrain on my stream tonight. Probably late tonight. Thanks for stopping by. So I'm really starting to go in and just add in the hot spots, or the areas that the model would really be picking up the light from the flames on it. Which is kind of, stylized here because let's be honest, if I went with, true realism here, it'd be super bright light everywhere because these are flying wings of fire. But yeah, going for a stylized OSL look here. Am I the world's best OSL painter? No. Do I know exactly what I'm doing? Also no. But, we're going through this together. We're going on a journey together. Because I'm also trying to do the knee pad there with the non-metallic metal, because to do OSL and get it to sell properly, got to go with doing true metallics ends up not looking great. So let's see. Let's get a little bit of that. You got. So I'm glazing in the cast light from the flames. And the thing is, it's a little sloppy right now. I can always clean it up. It's kind of that going in, laying in that brightness, going in, working back in some of the shadows, smoothing it out, back and forth on this there to, hopefully get the look to sell properly. Yep. And this is definitely one of those models where it's going in, cycles. Like, oh, it's looking great. Oh, God, misery. Oh, it's looking great. Oh, misery. There's definitely, because that's the way it goes when you're trying to do something with source lighting on it. And one of the mistakes I made with Deacon Hillcrest, and I'll say this right now, I screwed him up a little bit here, is that if you look at him there, that glow on his face looks really good. But compared to that, he's too bright on this side over here. And so I didn't highlight her up nearly as much because I can always go back and figure out how bright I got with the fire. It's going to be easier to do that than adding the shadows back in like I have to do on Mr. Hillcrest here, which is making me sad. But bouncing between, yay and misery, and yay and misery. Really need to get the chrysalis of misery turned into a shirt. Like with like the full on death metal logo. Oh, you shared you shared that the gosh God, it had to be a couple weeks ago. But Play Weird showed us this, shared with some of us painters here, a great, one of those squiggly, like, raw, if you've ever seen like a logo for a death metal band. It said Chrysalis of Misery. And I want it on the shirt. It just made me, when I saw it, it just made me so very, very happy. Death metal fonts reminded you to update Facebook. I'm not quite sure what you're updating on Facebook that death metal fonts reminded you of, or man. Oh, you made that logo for her. I love it, Curses. I love it so much. I want it on a shirt. By the way, for anyone who couldn't quite tell from the way I look, I'm definitely a big metal head. I love me some metal. So, other than Chrysalis of Misery, anyone got some good metal bands that they know of that I might not have heard of that I should check out at some point? Because I'm always up for listening to new music. Oh, wholesomely death metal? Yes. That sounds amazing. Because let's be honest, there's nothing innately unwholesome about heavy metal bands. Okay, what kind of metal you're into? Like some Scandinavian metal bands. Oh, Monomarth's good stuff. Who have been listening to a bunch of Corpiclani lately. White Wizard death metal with a sprinkling of jazz. Okay, you know what? I gotta grab my piece of paper here and just start writing a bunch of these down. Here we go. What is this? Yeah. White Ward. Metal and jazz. Winterson. The Bemor Morty is their latest EP. That's cool. All right. The Bemor Morty. Yeah. So yeah, I've been digging. So the when Big Dino was streaming out, this was a couple weeks ago. He was singing the what is I've been told is the leak spinning song, or the Yandin or something polka. And then I think it was Vyruk shared with some of us painters a link to a metal version of that song, and I instantly became obsessed because it's kind of a I'm a big fan of kind of the folk metal scene where it's metal but with using some traditional folk instruments like bags and pipes. Big into alluviette of late because they've got heavy metal hurdy gurdy. Yes, Levon polka. That one is amazing. I don't know what it is. There's just something that I love about when you can take, traditional instruments and have them played in a thoroughly modern manner, because metal is a more modern art style than say, most folk music. But God, I love when I've got, I jokingly refer to it as music to kill orcs to. Like you can just picture riding into battle against a horde of orcs while listening to this music. And it's got to have that, kind of, so you got that metal, but you also got that fantasy tinge to it. Like big into the folk and also kind of the symphonic metal stuff. Was unfortunately a little disappointed with Nightwish's most recent album. Most of their stuff I really like, but I don't know. They just kind of leaned into their. I don't know. I need to give it another listen all the way through. There were some gems on it, but it just was not quite where what I was wanting at the time. As to what I'm doing with painting here, I'm kind of looking at where the light would be picked up on the boots and the clothes and all that stuff when reflected from the the fire, because I mean, she's got fire swirling all around her. It's not a consistent, bam, beam of light like, what I've got going on here. And so kind of is swirly and flickery, and I'm picturing like in my mind here, it's like, what would she look like if she were lit from a campfire? And that flickering play of light across the surface is really what I'm going for. But I still have to establish the volumes and such of the model itself. It's kind of a balancing act here. Necrogoblicon. That is an amazing name. And I need to write that down right now. Come on, pen work. All right. Necrogoblicon. Well, that just sounds delightful. Oh man, I don't. This reminds me, Weird Kyle, if you're still here, I don't know if y'all ever have time when you're at Gen Con, but when you're at Gen Con, one of my all-time favorite restaurants happens to be in Indianapolis, also in Chicago. So when you're up there, if you go up there for Adepticon, it's a place called Kuma's Corner. And they are a heavy metal hamburger bar. And all their Matt, Sean, and I went there after we finished up setup on Wednesday. It's just one of my favorite places. Oh, I will make sure I know. So they're originally from Chicago. And I think they are actually out nearby where they do. I think they've got a location out near where they do Adepticon now. So if you go to Adepticon and Gen Con, it is possible to get that. The main issue with it at Gen Con is that it's a little bit away from the convention center, so it's not. So you got to take an Uber out there. But I'll let you know. I tend to go every year, if possible. Yeah, all of their burgers are named after metal bands. Really good burgers too. I mean, it's not just yeah, the whole hey heavy metal hamburger bar thing may be a little gimmicky, but the burgers are actually really good too. So Vortex and Varsity. Never. Obviously, I'm not from that area, so have not tried that out. Obviously, but the only restaurant I've eaten at in the Marietta area was happened to be driving through the area, and I've got a friend who lives not far from actually from your where Wyrd is based, and we ate at the Marietta Diner, who I've now been informed someone informed me that apparently that place is super sketchy. Okay, yeah, I yeah, one of my friends from high school happens to just work in the area as an animator on. She works as an animator on Archer. which is pretty cool. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, they're based out of the greater Atlanta area. I also find it kind of hilarious that it's another friend named Kyle who lives in the Atlanta area. Not Wyrd Kyle, but a different Kyle. Yeah, I've heard that there's some decent food around Atlanta. I mean, I haven't. It's been years since I've spent any time there. Last time I was literally just driving through for about driving through from on my way from Texas out to Virginia. So didn't really have a lot of time to stop. Oh man, my favorite place in Sammy's. My favorite place, one of my favorite places in Houston here, uh, was called Sammy's, and they closed unfortunately. But they were a wild game grill, so they did burgers out of all kinds of crazy wild game and stuff. They had python chili. Okay, so I used to live in I lived briefly for a little less than a year in Abita Springs. Well, so this Sammy's, it was Sammy's Wild Game Grill. It was in Houston, and I don't know if it's the same Sammy's that you're talking about, because this was, a local place. Maybe just been a coincidence. Oh yeah, Abita Springs is awesome, but I certainly didn't quite appreciate it because I had moved there directly from Chicago, and I felt like I lived in the middle of nowhere then, and I was very sad. And when I say Chicago, I lived in Chicago, Chicago. I could walk to. I lived in a location where I could walk to Wrigley Field. And so moving to Louisiana from Chicago, oof, I was not happy. Yeah, and I like I'm definitely more of a city boy. In Abita, I felt like I was living in the middle of a swamp. I have not. It's been a while since I've been back to Louisiana. Also, definitely. We were only there for about a year before we ended up in Houston. But yeah, it's not really an area I think I ever ended up going to. Yeah, and doing that after living, where I could literally walk to go see the Cubs play or something like that is, was very much a culture shock. Ah, yeah. So I've been doing mini painting for a long while, and then I moved to actually doing some digital art myself. I need to work on my 2D stuff. I do some sculpting here and there. One of the things that we go with when it comes to painting miniatures is that to get the at this scale to get things to read properly, we have to use a lot of 2D techniques because let's say I've got my something real scale like my hand here. If I painted my hand solid red or whatever, so yeah, I said painted it solid red, it would have just based off of the light, you'd get that natural gradation of color there. But a miniature painted a solid color because of the scale difference, you don't actually get that the gradation doesn't read. So we're using like the 2D highlighting techniques to get establish that volume. So I find that people who do a lot of work in 2D and who do 2D stuff pick up mini painting pretty quickly because you're used to establishing the taking a flat object and establishing the forms. Well, that's kind of what we're effectively taking a we're painting it as though it were 2D and establishing a lot of those forms that way. Especially when it comes to doing things like light sources and if you're doing metallics with non-metallic metals. Hey Ben Ashenhold, how you doing? Best of luck, Ashenhold. Oh, good luck with that. If you're just tuning in, McBuff, this is drawing pretty mushrooms. That sounds like fun. Oh, shenanigans. Shenanigans is certainly one of my favorite words in the world. Words in the world. Mostly because I'm full of shenanigans. Just gonna set you down for a second there and grab a swig of my tea. Oh yeah, so I do digital sculpting. If you check out some of my socials there, if you hey play weird, could you hit that the thingy of magical my link tree thingy, Willow link or whatever it is. It's got a link to a bunch of my sculpt, my links to. I've got pictures of my some of my sculpting up there. There we go. So it's got on my Instagram, and it's got my Instagram. It's got my website. A bunch of the various works I've done, works in progress, works I've done, various stuff like that. Lots of tabletop terrain of late. Okay. Ooh, this guy's in the chrysalis of misery. To export, yeah, to actually print that uses the STL. When working, it's a ZTL format because I work in ZBrush personally. Ugh. Oh yeah, Prince Totem. That's the one from the what's his face? The Halloween Zoraida box, right? Yeah. So my local shop apparently my copy of that box has come in, so I'm excited to go pick it up later this week. A spooky crown on a frog. Heck yeah. I'm excited to paint that crew. God, that cloak is giving me all the misery. Feel like drawing something again. Malifaux related, but not sure what. Ooh, I'm just stretching for a moment here. Oh, there we go. Oh man, what's going on? We got Brush for Hire raiding over here with a party of 54. Hey, thanks, Brush for Hire. Hey, everyone, coming over from Brush for Hire. Yes. So we've got our new super aggressive, a little bit of a, we've got our new bot going on over here. But yeah, auto mod, joys. Yes, hello everyone coming over from Brush for Hire. I am Guslado. I occasionally, quite frequently, see me over in Brush for Hire's painting chat there. I am painting today for Wyrd Miniatures. So that's welcome to the Play Wyrd stream. This is the official paint channel for Wyrd Miniatures. and I am today working on Kaeris from the new Embrace the Ember title box from the new Malifaux Burns book. And yeah, so working on this, currently working my way through what I like to refer to as the chrysalis of misery, that ugly phase when you start to hate what you're working on a little bit there. And I'm working on adding in some of the object source lighting off of these crazy wings of fire. But yes, thank you for coming on over, Brush. How was your stream today? Didn't get to tune in this morning because I was busy running a bunch of errands after being out of town for a vacation. But yeah, if anyone isn't familiar with Brush for Hire, he streams pretty much every day, starting early in the morning, going until, round about this time. Really, really talented painter. Does a lot of really great stuff. Really solid community over there. So go give him a follow as well. Brush for Hire. Good people. Chaos as always. Yes. He is full of chaos and shenanigans. We were talking earlier how shenanigans is one of my favorite words. Chaos shenanigans. Yeah. Be nice, Nightbot. Hey, well, thanks for the raid, Brush for Hire. Have a lovely, lovely day. And anyone who hasn't checked out Brush for Hire, go give him a like too. Like, subscribe, or follow, or whatever the words I'm looking for, because my brain is in paint mode, not wordsing mode all the time right now. But yeah, check him out. Does some really, really great stuff over there. And has a fun and ridiculous community. And also is a ridiculously talented painter. One day when I grow up, I want to paint like Brush. But yeah, so any of the new people who just jumped on in over here, let me know if you got any questions. As a model from Malifaux. Don't think I've seen Brush paint any Malifaux over there yet. You got to get that changed. You got to get him painting some Malifaux. Friday? Yeah, that'd be good. Oh yeah, we were talking earlier on about our early painting adventures. I was talking how I started out, as most people did. I mean, honestly, back in the '90s, unless it was random metal D&D minis, it was GW, and so I started out with GW myself. A lot of the old school Warhammer Fantasy models, and then fell into Necromunda, and that really sealed my love of skirmish type games. Oh, lead minis with tester. Nice. I think we all, back in the night, I didn't do it in the late '70s. I wasn't alive then yet, but definitely used a lot of testers back in the day. Yeah, so Bone Shooter, that sounds like that was a long break there. What brought you back to painting? Oh, cool. You need to make it out to GaryCon someday. Oh, grew up as a kid in Germany. Okay. So du sprichst ein bisschen Deutsch, ja? Mein Deutsch ist nur so. Ich habe 7 Jahre Deutsch gelernt, aber ich habe wirklich seit die Universität niemand damit zu sprechen. I know that was terrible. I'm rusty as heck with my German, but ich, yeah, I studied it for 7 years. There's a little bits rattling around up in here. Oh, ich kann mehr Deutsch verstehen, als ich kann sprechen. Und meine Grammatik ist sehr, sehr schlecht. I studied I studied German back in. I started back in junior high and took it out throughout high school and college. But it's a use it or lose it kind of thing. I really wish I had learned Spanish because I live in Texas, so that would be super useful. But growing up in Michigan, I was like, when would I ever need to know Spanish? So I actually this is a little known superpower that I actually have a superpower that is completely useless for me. That if ever I utter the words, when would I ever need insert technology or skill here? That skill or technology is going to become something vitally important to society in general. But I can't make use of this superpower because if I notice that I said, oh, when would I ever need this? That ends up not panning out. So I remember back in high school, it's like, why would I ever need a cell phone? If they want to get a hold of me, they can just call me at home. Yeah. Yeah. Why would I ever need to know Spanish? Yeah, that would be super useful now. Why would I need to access the internet on my phone? I just use my computer. Yeah, yeah. All of these things. If you ever hear me utter the words, why would I ever need this particular thing? That you need to invest heavily in that technology immediately because you'll make a whole lot of money. And then years later, I'll look back and remember, oh man, I totally said this would be useless to me. So yeah, important thing to note. So if you ever hear me out of the words, why would I ever pay attention to it? Because it's going to be useful. Really wish I had learned Spanish. Oh my god, no. The iPod. I was like, why would I need an iPod? I've got my CD player that can play MP3s off of a burned CD. Why would I need an iPod? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, at this point, I know enough German that I can have a very surface level conversation in German with a native speaker. And then they're like, oh, yes, yes, very good, very good. But it's nothing of, real depth or substance. And it's not like I can like translate anything important. Oh, that's really sad. So Duolingo, you can actually, if you log into Duolingo, even if you haven't done it in a while, you can test out a lot of the lessons and stuff. I did that with German when I was trying to get back into learning, German. Probably just sticking with it. Like I was doing really good at. Oh man, I was doing really good at keeping up with Spanish lessons on Duolingo for a while there, and then I just kind of fell off for a week or two, and then just stopped. Now, Play Weird, I've got a question for you. Why Polish? I mean, other than, ooh, is this story time? Because I did German because my family, a lot of my family came from Germany. Oh, okay. Pretz. Okay. Wow. I see that, and my brain translates that into pretzel my slaw. And I'm thinking, like, okay, pretzels and coleslaw sounds like a meal. I would enjoy that. Pretzels and coleslaw. So you encountered that name that I'm not attempting again for because I don't want to butcher it. Suave. That PJ is hard to say. Pajama, pajama suave. Pajama suave. Pajama suave? Is that close? Pretty close. Okay. I'm assuming that because that PJ is not really a sound we have in English. Obviously, you know this. So it's going to be a hard, you know, thing for the English tongue to hit properly. Oh God, Welsh. Welsh never met a consonant they didn't like. Yeah, I can see that too. Oh, that's awesome. I'm certain with the customer service you do for Wyrd there, you get to see a lot more how big internationally Malifaux has gotten. And I'm impressed at the following we've got in Poland and Russia. Yeah, because I mean we've got. I mean, shoot. I mean even the Play Wyrd painting team. Mm. Yeah, but the Play Wyrd team we've got. I mean, so we've got Eleanor who's over in Sweden. We've got Vyruk over in Poland. We've got Ben over in Scotland. See, well, Dino, he's down in Australia, right? Trying to think. So I mean, we've got an international team of painters here. Painting or a line art based piece? Ooh, I don't know. All depends on what you're working on. I'm a big fan of artworks that are done very much with kind of a line art cross hatching type thing. Honestly, one of my all-time favorite artists. I'm a huge fan of MC Escher and his, line art lithography type stuff. His stuff, huge influence on my aesthetic sensibilities. And if you check out the stuff over on my website there, you'll see some of the Escher influence in my design aesthetic. Yeah, the friend who introduced me originally to Malifaux is actually from Mexico originally. A good buddy Jaime. Okay, here we go. Let's come on. Ooh, have a fun bike ride. And thanks for tuning in. Hey, look at that. Nightbot. Yeah, I really need to set up one of those little stream bot things on my personal stream. I was gonna do that, but then I went on vacation and haven't gotten back around to it yet. Whoa! Look at that! Fancy! Yeah, that's the reason why I made that Willow Link thing for myself. I saw that Haunted Miniatures had made one of those. Go, oh, yeah. If I'm gonna have to be, sharing all of these links all the time, might as well make one little convenient link thing there. Starting to think about, what am I eating for dinner tonight? Ooh, I baked quiche yesterday. I'm excited for quiche. I say this because my tummy gurgled, and I'm like, ooh, getting excited for food. I baked a quiche yesterday. Ham, cheese, and roasted asparagus. Which I'm going to say this right now. Most people like steam asparagus. No. If you've never roasted asparagus, oh man, you are missing out. So, if you're a fan of asparagus, what you need to do is, by the way, I haven't tried it out grilled, but probably going to be a similar result to roasted. Is that it's a high dry heat brings out a lot of different flavors in asparagus than like a steam. You snort asparagus. Well, you gotta that I suppose you'd have to dehydrate and grind it up to properly snort asparagus. Yes, but in an interesting way. But if you so my the recipe I do for roast asparagus. Now, please note all temperatures here are in Fahrenheit because that's what my oven is in. I do sometimes use Celsius for various other things. I've got 3D printers, so those all use Celsius, and it gets confusing. But if you want some really, really tasty asparagus, it's going to be about a pound of asparagus. Preheat your oven to 500 degrees Fahrenheit. So really, really hot. Line a tray with foil. Throw your asparagus on there. Tablespoon of olive oil. Toss it around. Spread it out so it's one layer. Once your oven is rip, roar, and rocket hot, throw it in there and roast the asparagus for about between 2.5 and 3 minutes. You don't want it browning yet. Pull it out, toss it around, make sure it's all, nice and tossed around again. Put it back in for about another 2.5 minutes, 2.5 to maybe 3 minutes. Just until you start to see it browning. Pull it out, toss it with half a teaspoon of kosher salt. Well, yeah, so you don't want the salt on there beforehand. So once it's, getting browned. So once you pull it out, toss it with half a teaspoon of kosher salt. And here's where we get crazy. Half a teaspoon of nutmeg and the zest of a lemon. I know, nutmeg, you usually see it in sweet dishes. But yes, nutmeg. Half a teaspoon of nutmeg, zest of a lemon, and then black pepper. Toss it all up. Oh my God, it is insane. I know, nutmeg on a savory dish sounds like I'm a crazy, crazy cuckoo person. But I tried this and it changed my life. I will never, I never want to do it any other way. But you know what? Rise of Mages, I will try your version of it. All right, what's your version? Let's hear it. Because I love food. Okay. Nice. That sounds really tasty. Yeah. Ooh, you know what? That makes me think of something. So I've done this with Brussels sprouts before, where because I love Brussels sprouts. I know some people may hate them, but I love Brussels sprouts. But you take try another. Go to the poll and go to. I apologize, but so something that's really really good. Take some Brussels sprouts, and you have them, but you're gonna chop up some bacon and cook the bacon, and then you throw the Brussels sprouts in there, and you just kind of toss it, and it ends up cooking really really fast. And you top that with a fried egg. Yeah, right. To be fair, I'm a fan of cooking almost anything in rendered bacon grease. I mean, I will. Ooh, runny egg on chili. Yes, yes. You know what? I tend to not put eggs on soap. Soap is for washing, not for eating. But I'm assuming you mean soup. Rise of Mages. Don't eat soap. But yeah, make a really good. Ooh, I'm making chili next week. I'm gonna make some chili. I make a really good crock pot chili. Oh. Yeah, I'm totally gonna make some chili next week. Crap. Oh no. Rookie at what? Rookie at painting here? Oh no, I have not sculpted anything for Wyrd. All my sculpting has been most of my sculpting has been for either personal works or I was working for a studio that made 3D printable terrain. So I've never sculpted anything for Wyrd. I'd love to in the future, but I don't think I'm quite there yet. I've only been doing the professional sculptor for about a year or two now. Actually, 2 years, I guess, technically. Um, started working for a small. I personally started my day job. Yeah, ZBrush, almost exclusively at this point. My day job that I started right before the pandemic is for a small studio for 3D printable stuff. And started doing that right before the pandemic. But then that studio's kind of fallen apart due to the owner passing away suddenly. But the so I've been working at getting my own stuff out there. But just have mostly been also focusing on a lot of commission painting and doing the streaming stuff lately. Well, if there's specific needs that aren't being met, If only you knew someone who's working at building up their portfolio. Oh no, my it was Talon Haldane, also known as James McCann. It was Haldane Creations, also so no, I don't know Walt. The only Walt I know is Disney. Yeah, it's got a really awkward interface for the beginner. Once you get around to it, it's pretty cool stuff. I haven't done any streaming on my personal stream of that yet, but that is my plan to, on my own Twitch channel, stream some of that sometimes. Oh, Impudent Mortals. I've heard of them. Yeah, yeah. I didn't realize that he passed away. No. Wow. That's sad. No, we were the range that we were, it's Worlds Overrun. And we've been working to reorganize. It's tough to do, especially when we're all. He was the glue that held us together. And when the guy who runs the studio passes, it can really mess things up. Because sometimes, you get a bunch of artists. Artists want to art, not manage a business. And so it's really tough to get a group together that's gonna, survive someone like that. Which I hope Impudent Mortals keeps going because I like their work. I mean, when I was in, because the most recent time when I went back to school. So I've got a degree. I've worked many different professions. I was a professional actor for a long time. Well, not a long time, for a while. I went to school for theater. Um, so I've got a degree in theater. Was a professional actor. Uh, Ran a games workshop store for a while. Got a degree. Went back to school. Got a degree in paralegal studies. So was a paralegal for a few years. But that was soul sucking. And I just didn't tap the creative side of the brain. I just needed to be creative. And so went back to school for game design. And when I did that, I took a few business courses just because I'm like, okay, if I want to do this, I might need to, launch my own thing someday. And so I'm glad I took, some accounting courses because then I can communicate, understand it, and communicate it a little bit better. But that's not the side of things that I want to do. Being when Play Weird shares my socials later on my link tree there, it's got the my website that is working at getting my stuff up and running there. Just sorting out the rights to some of the work I had done for the other studio. Now that the studio doesn't really exist anymore, figuring out if I can recapture some of the work I had done for them. Oh, fun! Yeah. Oh, cook. Yeah. I mean, when I was working as an actor, I worked front of house, so waiting tables and bartending. Dang! Yeah, when I'm not sitting behind this desk painting, I'm sitting over at a desk I've got right over here doing my sculpting. So that's looking all right. Let's give it a little bit of that. Yeah, I've got my monitor here on the swing arm. Right, okay, that's what time it is. Cool. Hey, welcome, Mac McBluff. How was your bike ride? Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, you said you're over in Louisiana, right? Yeah, you're probably getting some pretty comparable weather to me since I'm over in Houston, which that's, also Gulf Coast. So probably pretty comparable. It's finally not, FML hot outside. Oh, that sounds nice. Yeah, it's about what it is here right now. It's definitely humidity central down here in Houston too. Yeah, well, it's being right on the coast there. You're gonna get that humidity. But I mean, I suppose in NC you're not going to be getting quite as much of the heat. Oh yeah, I was just in Florida. I The wife and I decided we went to Halloween Horror Nights at Universal, which was tons of fun. I'd never done it before. But it definitely made the weather feel glorious when we got back in town here. Oh, hey, yes, that's my socials there. Follow my things there. So we're getting towards the tail end of my stream here. Um, Go to that link there, the top dog link there. It's got my website. It's got my Instagram there. It's got all my socials and how you can find me, see what I've been working on. Also, I stream on Twitch as Guslado, so twitch.tv/Guslado. I usually stream kind of a late night thing there. I will be on there probably tonight, round about probably 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern. I will be back at streaming here. Probably gonna finish on. I'm very close on finishing her up. So if I don't finish her off before then, I will be working on Riva to finish off the Embrace the Ember box. Yep. Same weird time, same weird channel. Let me see. We've also got tomorrow on here. Yeah, tomorrow, the streaming schedule we are going to have tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. We're going to have Sybarite painting Eleanor on the Play Wyrd channel here. And at 3:30 in the afternoon is going to be What the Foe? Ooh, Dune's out? Oh, yes, we got Eleanor and Wojtek. Dune's out? I need to go see Dune. Is it out now or is it coming out this weekend? I need to know. I need to know. Out now or out soon? Got to know. Muad'Dib comes out this weekend. Oh man, I'm so psyched. Oh good. Oh good. I'm glad that we're hearing good things, because let's be honest, with that big of a star-studded cast and that big of a movie, it runs the risk of being bad. You know how some things like that could be, because there's just so much expectations. Oh, I'm not going to watch that on HBO. I'm going to see that on the big screen, because it's epic. It's Dune, man. It's Dune. Yeah, exactly. Dark Tower. But, oh, man. That's awesome. I'm so excited. I'm going to have to go see that. But yes, come back. I'll be here on Thursday, but tomorrow we've got Eleanor and Wojtek streaming. So yes, thank you all for streaming in. Those of you who rated in with Brush for Hire, thank you for sticking around. Follow Play Wyrd, follow Guslado, that is me. And, thanks for tuning in. Stay weird, everyone. Have a great night.